Who should not subscribe to FSA videos? Okay, we're trying to save you some time here. If you're a certain type of investor or trader, you're really going to quickly realize that this is not for you, because we're kind of long-term investors. We're having a bit of fun with this, to be honest with you, and some of the points are kind of redundant, but they're nuanced and a little bit different, and I'll have a bit of fun with it. And no offense to any of these types of investors, but you just won't get the value that we're bringing to the table. Okay, so if you're a day trader, save your money. Do not subscribe. We'll take your money for your subscription, and I suppose there's a scenario where you want to day trade, high quality names with cash flow. That's up to you, but it's not necessary as a day trader. You can almost pick anything, and you're really just following the patterns and stuff like that. But we're not. We're trying to buy a stock for the long term. We're trying to get people into that. Okay, so unless you're a unique day trader and you need to know the long term fundamentals of a company, you're not going to get the value out of it. Okay, so like I said, some of these things are kind of similar. Technical analysis or analysts. If you're a technical analyst, I doubt you're going to get much value out of this. I mean, we're barely going to touch on the charts. We'll look at, of course, we're going to look at the chart and talk about the price of the stock versus what our intrinsic value is. We're going to do that. But we're not going to get fancy into the charts, and we're not going to add any value there. Again, there could be a scenario if you're a technical analyst and you want the fundamental view at the same time. Okay, that's probably some value. But most technical analysts I know don't care about the fundamental value at all. So if you're one of those, you're not going to get any value. If you do care, sure, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, moving on. If you're looking for a hot stock, okay, like I said, some of these are nuanced and we're having a bit of fun with it, but you want the latest cannabis stock, the latest biotech, the latest gadget. That's not us either. We don't do too many startups. There's a few that if there's something really interesting and really special, we'll take a good look at it, but if it's pre-cash flow, it's not really in our wheelhouse. So I would consider that a hot stock. Now, sometimes, by the way, a company that is cash flowing and doing really well can become a hot stock, and that may be a little bit different story. We might, take a more serious look at that, but typically when I think of a hot stock, it's like, cannabis stock that, none of them have any revenue right now. So how am I supposed to analyze that in terms of cash flow, return on capital, and all that stuff? There's not much I can do. Okay? Again, these are subtle differences, but there are enough differences. If you're just kind of looking for a get rich quick, like just give me some good ideas. I don't care. I just want to make some money in the stock market. No, don't subscribe. You won't be happy. This is get rich slow. Get rich slowly. It takes time. Well, I think you'll beat the market if you are consistent and you buy high quality companies and they're undervalued and they're, improving their fundamentals, and you stick to that kind of philosophy, you'll do fine. Okay? But get rich quick is not us either. Okay? Again, here we go. This one's very similar, but it's subtle enough difference that I'm going to bring it up. It's not a foolproof system either. Okay, so I saw this one commercial the other day. I forget if it was online or on TV. I hope it was online, because if they're doing that on TV, it's just disgraceful. But it was an elderly lady, and she said she made X amount of dollars in a year, and she didn't have that much capital to start with, and it wasn't even that hard, and she just, barely was at her computer only like an hour a day or something like that. Okay, that's actually let's put it this way. You need to have your BS radar pretty high for this kind of stuff, okay? And even when you look at our stuff, have your BS radar up, and if we can get through all your BS radar and you still think we're good, that's great. That's the guy we want. Okay, we want you to, look into us thoroughly as possible, and then make your decision. Okay, but we are not a foolproof system. I don't think there ever will be one. And I know we've got some amazing technologies out there that we're investigating ourselves. And that the biggest one being artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence can help stock picking. I do not think there will be a foolproof system, though, even with artificial intelligence. I think there's enough change in the world that even in artificial intelligence, and I'm sure that'll get better and more sophisticated, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but the more I do this, the more I realize the best way to make money is to buy high quality companies, making good cash flow, improving your return on capital, and at a reasonable price. If you just did that, you would do fine over time. Okay? So I don't see, how AI is even going to change that. And I do think it might help us find, more ideas a little faster. Maybe get you out of one that's not as good at, quicker, alternatives. I think alternatives could come up like, okay, if you like this one's just very similar but a little bit better or whatever, that can help. Okay, I rambled on a little bit too much about AI because I do think there's a future there in stock picking, but I still think, it's not, there's no foolproof system, okay? We are not one. There's not one out there. I don't care what you've seen on TV. Get your BS radar up, and if it doesn't pass your BS radar, then don't invest in that kind of system.